to my channel, The Daily Grays, and today we're going to be doing my yearly 4-star review. And I have a few 2 stars and 3 stars, and then I have like a huge chunk of 5 stars, which is in a previous video. I'm pretty sure that was Monday's video. I'm sorry. I feel like absolute doo-doo, so bear with me. But all the 4-star reviews that I had was all of Throne of Glass, because that's pretty much what like a good portion of this year was dedicated to, was pretty much ACOTAR and Throne of Glass. So we have the 3 books is Queen of Shadows, Heir of Fire, and Crown of Midnight. So let's start with Crown of Midnight. So if you don't know about this, it is about pretty much an assassin who, like, there's a lot, like, the best way to explain this is really, really hard without, like, spoiling a whole bunch of stuff. And I thought, like, maybe this time I don't spoil a whole bunch of stuff. But anyways, so it's like it's an assassin, and she does all these things, and stuff goes wrong, and which you end up reading in Assassin's Blade. So if you read Assassin's Blade first, you know what goes wrong. If you read Assassin's Blade in Chronicle Order, I think it's like after Crown of Midnight is technically Chronicle Order. I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, I read Assassin's Blade first, so like I knew what went wrong. Anyways, so this is like when she starts meeting like more. You start reading a lot more characters. Honestly, Throne of Glass, you also start meeting more characters. This is really difficult because like the books kind of blend in together. Anyways, so this is pretty much just her. Like, you meet the captain of the guard, you meet the Prince of Ardalan, you meet the princess that is like from a different kingdom, and a lot happens. And I really liked this book. There was just too many things that like I wasn't sure of that ended up putting this at 4 stars instead of 5. Actually, this one was just a 4. But I do have part 1 and part 2 up of me reading this series, and I believe that I talked about Crown of Midnight in it, or I think it, yeah. Anyways, but no, so I do have part 1 and part 2 of me reading this series, and those are not spoiler free. So if you want to learn more about my thoughts and stuff, I would go and then jump into those videos. Last time I did this, so my yearly 5-star review, I had my computer and I was reading, my, like, what I, like, typed in for my review, but, there's so many issues with that. Like, for some reason, the good reason my computer was, like, all screwed up, like, dates I read it, and, like, the review that I put it, and so even some of my star reviews were all messed up, because it was different than what was on my phone. And if you don't know, if you're new here, I do film on my phone. I am wanting to get an actual vlog camera, which will then open some challenges up that I want to do. I did just, like, kind of figure out how I can, like, do, like, listening to an audiobook while I clean, because my Kindle can, like, you can put Bluetooth on, and then you can listen to audiobooks through your Kindle. At least the paperweight you can. One second. But, and then a 24-hour readathon, I found out I can use my, my computer to use as a timer, but I'm saving that. I was gonna do, if I finished Tower of Dawn a couple days ago, which I didn't, because I'm listening to it, and then I'm reading it on my Kindle, and I'm reading it on my book. Like, there's just in-betweens, and it's been pretty busy because I'm getting ready for starting school. I'm sick. I have a lot of like Christmas, getting ready for Christmas and stuff, because I have 2 families I'm doing Christmas with. So I have my in-laws, and then I have my actual like family, like my blood related family that I'm doing Christmas with. And so it's like getting all the gifts ready for them, and then doing other videos for my channel, and resting up and making sure I'm not too sick for school, because I can't miss a day of school. It's a fast track trade school for dental assisting, and it is the only day that's in person, where you do a lot of hands-on stuff for the school. So you can't miss a day, and you can technically pay for like a makeup class, but it's like over $200 for that class, and I don't have that. I'm actually getting funded by WorkSource to be able, like, I got a grant to be able to do this school, so I'm not gonna fuck up that chance. Like, I went to the doctor's office yesterday to see if I had strep, because you need a 72-hour window with taking antibiotics before you can, like, then converse with the world, because you're technically very contagious. But I did not have strep, but I do still have antibiotics to just kind of help my body fight, since I do have like kind of a broken immune system, and it doesn't really like to fight things, and it usually gets like 10 times worse before it even thinks about getting better. So yeah. But moving on, we're on Air Fire. Now I know for dang sure I talked about Air Fire in that the Throne of Glass videos. I loved Air Fire. It was a 4.5 star. I absolutely loved it. There were a couple of things that I didn't like, and it just kind of stuck with me, and so that's why it didn't get to like a 5 star, and that's gonna be this book and the next book we're gonna be talking about. But I loved it. I loved the banter between, oh, I'm one book ahead. That's in the Queen of Shadows, isn't it? Right? Yeah. This one. This is about the contest. Oh, this is about the contest. So this is a 4. This was a 4.5 star still. But this is about the contest, and dude, like, I was on the like edge of my seat for the most of this book, and there were some points in this where like it just dragged along, and then there were some repetitive things that happened in this, and then there were some like really crazy, like absolutely crazy things. And like the people that she went up against, the fact that they had her hold back when she was fighting and also go under an alias, and it's just freaking crazy. And this is where you're starting to really honestly, you're getting into the water of the inkling of what she's gonna possibly be facing in the books, like later on, of like who the true enemy is. You're starting to kind of get into that world. Things are starting to change. Things are starting to morph. And so, yeah, it was pretty good. And then Queen of Shadows is where it says no masters, no limits, no regrets. So she is like on a quest. She had to go overseas to this place where magic still technically exists. Like, there's fae male, there's like all of this. There's this queen that's there, and like she is separate technically from the kingdom of this place that she's going to, and like this queen has like a lot of sway, and she's kind of evil, kind of like a lot evil. But you're really starting to get into the nitty gritty of the evil that's around and what Selena Saradothien is going to be facing. And then you also get to know more about like who is like possibly like the good guys, and then you meet another main male character, and it's pretty great, guys. It's pretty freaking great. And there's so much that goes on. You get another like inkling of love. Like, it's a fantasy book with some love in it, but like when the love hits, like the love making and shit. But no, so this book was really good. This book honestly was a little more than a 4.5 star. It barely was under a 5 star. Like, there was like just things that I just couldn't forgive, and I can't really say it because then it's gonna spoil. And I'm trying not to do this as like a spoiler for the Throne of Glass, because like most of the videos that I've been posting where Throne of Glasses have been in it, it has had spoilers, and so I'm trying not to. But no, so yeah. So if you're wondering, what book am I on right now? I'm new and I love Throne of Glass, and you're talking about it, but what book are you on? Are you like on are you on the tandem read? Or, well, yeah, I would be on the tandem read. But, so, I didn't do the tandem read. I tried to do the tandem read. Like, I tabbed it, numbered the tabs, everything. Got a couple chapters in, and I was like, I'm not doing it. Because it literally was, like, it was just such a big thing to be getting into. Maybe if I do, like, a reread, I'll try the tandem read, but it was just, like, keeping me from wanting to read it, and that just kind of, like, hurt my brain. And hurt my heart because I loved this series like so much, and I still do because I'm still technically reading it. But right now I'm on Tower of Dawn, so I read Empire of Storm, which you'll see in my yearly 5-star review all of my ravings of Empire of Storm. And so now I'm on Tower of Dawn. I'm about 35% of the way through, and it's like kind of like a Cal's redemption arc, and then you learn more about Nesrin and all of this stuff. Like, Cal's kind of a roller coaster character. You feel all the feelings for him, and then it just like swashes. But a lot of stuff happened, and it's a reason why him and Nesrin are separated from the group, and why we're getting them in a whole nother area. And yeah, but the next book is Kingdom of Ash, and I'm doing a part 3 to read the Throne of Glass series with me, and that will be Tower of Dawn and Kingdom of Ash will be in there, depending on how much footage I have of Tower of Dawn. It could just be a Tower of Dawn video, and then Kingdom of Ash will have its own, because Kingdom of Ash is like 20 pages, less than 1,000 pages, and I know that so much happens in it. Everybody has told me, other book talkers have told me, like, we've, like, I've commented on their videos, they've commented, like, replied back. I've texted one of them, and it's like, they're like, oh, just wait, and I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of scared, but I'm like, it can't be as emotional as A Little Life, but I'm so invested with these characters. I love these characters. I hate some characters. I understand, like, the reason why for other characters, and so I am a little scared to, like, jump into Kingdom of Ash, because I really honestly, like, I don't want my heart absolutely ripped apart, and I know it's gonna be ripped apart, but we're gonna do it. And if I can, I'm gonna do a 24-hour readathon, and we're gonna make a fort, and we're gonna do a 24-hour readathon within the fort, and hopefully I can be able to do it. And if I can get somebody to, like, jump in and do this with me, it would be totally great. But if I do it during the week, a lot of them work, and then one of them would have to travel down, and so that would only be on the weekend, and I have school on Saturdays, which my school doesn't start till 1:30, so I mean, like, there's a little leeway there, but I'd rather not be, like, butt tired, unless I had, like, a couple energy drinks in my arsenal, then I'd be totally fine to do it. But no, so it would probably be like Saturday night to Sunday night, which would mean that the person who would be traveling down would have to stay, unless we did like 5 to 5, but then she would be butt tired, so that wouldn't work. So she'd have to stay till like Monday, leaving Monday, but she works in the week, so I'm not really 100% sure. It'll probably just be me and you guys, which is totally fine. Maybe I can get my husband to join in, and he can listen to, like, his audiobook and whatnot and be in the video for a little bit, since we now have 2 chairs. Yay! But this would be my chair. Nobody can have the big chair. This is my chair. I will be in this chair. Nobody can touch this chair. I will read in this chair. There's so many different ways that I can, like, read in the chair and be comfy, and it's amazing. So yeah. Okay, so there'll be 2 videos up today. So there'll be this one, and then there'll be a come study with me while I listen to Tower of Dawn. And so I'll be listening to Tower of Dawn, and then, like, obviously, like, when things happen, I'll talk about it. So if you have read Tower of Dawn, maybe you're on Kingdom of Ash now, or if you've read fully through the series, or you just don't care about spoilers. Like me, for spoilers, I'm like, I really don't care if it's so far down into my TBR. Because I will most likely forget that you'd even told me. So, like, technically, Crescent City has been completely spoiled for me. And I don't remember, like, any of the shit that was spoiled to me. Like, except for one thing that was recently told to me. And I'm like, how dare you? But it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. I've had a major spoiler before when it was literally going to be happening in, like, the next few pages, and I still had, like, major effects from what happened, and that was in the Blood and Ash series. So yeah. Oh my gosh, Larry Reed did, like, a date night with me, and me and Giant. And she was at Barnes & Noble and she scanned up to Blood and Ash and she goes, this series looks really cool. And I'm like, you bet your ass it looks really cool. That's like a really awesome series. I really want her to read the Blood and Ash and the Flesh and Fire series because I think she'll really, really love it and fall in love with the two main like love interests. Well, technically 4 because if you think about Flesh and Fire, the two different love people. And the fact that it has such an amazing plot on top of such an amazing romance, and also like spicy and smutty, how well it balances out. I do gotta say that the sister series, which is the Flesh and Fire series, it is such a slower read. Like Blood and Ash was like this, like it went and went and went, but Flesh and Fire, it was so different. Like, it threw a different vibe, but it still was really, really good. So, yeah. I'm gonna end this here. I talked about the books I wanted to talk about. Told you guys about stuff that's gonna be coming up. But, yeah. So, I got school that I gotta do. I gotta find where I'm at on my Kindle to then get to where I'm at in the audiobook on my Kindle. So it matches up. Which means I'll probably end up having to read a little bit to get to the start of another chapter, which is the easiest way to move from book to audiobook, is to end on a chapter and then start on that chapter you ended with in audiobook form. So, yeah, that is kind of what's going on today. And I will see you in the next video, which should be Studying With Me While I Listen to Tower of Dawn. Bye!